east of Seven Hills in Florida's capital city, covering every corner of the Big Bend. This is the award-winning News 20 at 5 Live.
Welcome to the special edition of News 20 at 5. I'm Taylor Bishop.
And I'm Brea Baker.
The Violent Crimes and Forensic Unit is investigating the fatal stabbing of a Tallahassee man after he was found injured at a local apartment complex. According to the Tallahassee Police Department, patrol officers and emergency personnel found 24-year-old Anton Spence suffering from stab wounds at Villa del Lago Apartments just before 3 p.m. on Thursday. He was taken to local hospital where he later died from related injuries. There are no suspects at this time, but investigators are interviewing all known witnesses and processing evidence related to the incident.
Senators voted 7-0 for the proposed Florida Kid Care bill, allowing illegal immigrants to receive insurance promptly. Multimedia journalist Aja Roberts has more on the story.
Since they're not licensed.
Earlier this week, senators met to discuss the Kid Care bill. The bill enables legal immigrants living in the United States to receive health care immediately instead of waiting 5 years. Attendee and director of Children's Trust, Diana Ragbeer, says children need this bill.
This bill is really important so that children receive health care timely. It makes no sense for them to have to wait 5 years for insurance coverage when they've gotten sicker, or they could have received their well child checkups and preventive care.
According to a 2014 Pew study, there are more than 11 million unauthorized immigrants in the United States. Despite the alarming number of illegal people in the U.S., Senator Garcia says the proposed bill only focuses on legally residing immigrants.
The bill in itself excludes undocumented children, and the reason that I did that was to make sure, because I didn't want this to turn into an immigration debate.
Senator Garcia says he wants to get legal immigrants health care faster, but legal immigrant Jubentino Zuniga says all immigrants deserve health care.
I believe it's unfair because it's not their fault they're being brought to this country. If they get sick, they should be able to go get taken care of. I mean, it's a burden.
Now, Senator Garcia says he can always go back and amend the proposed bill to include illegal immigrants, but his main focus is to give those residing in the United States health care now. Reporting for TV20, I'm Aja Roberts.
For more information on how to apply for the Kid Care, visit floridakidcare.org, and remember, you have to be a legal immigrant.
And the Florida Early Steps program was the topic of debate at Wednesday's Senate meeting. Multimedia journalist Keytron Hill has the story.
The service coordinator would contact the family and begin gathering.
The Florida Senate met to discuss changes and improvements that will be made towards the Florida Early Steps program. The Early Steps program offers services to infants and toddlers up until the age of 3 years old who may suffer a developmental delay. Jade Wiles has a son who is a part of the Early Steps program and shared some changes she felt could be made as a parent.
I think that the program could be better utilized sometimes if it were explained a little bit better, if parents knew more about what services they offer and then the different ways that the services were going to be applied to the child.
One major topic discussed was the expansion of eligibility into the program. Senate members wanted that decision will affect federal dollars. Deputy Secretary of Health and Deputy State Health Officer for Children's Medical Services, Celeste Phillip, represented the Early Steps program and shared her thoughts on the idea of expansion.
I think there are a couple of things that we can do currently to make sure that all families who may benefit from the program are aware of the resources. And that would include outreach directly to families, but also to providers and other agencies that interact with infants and young children. And we believe that outreach will bring more people into the program.
Some topics discussed in the meeting included the addition of a new Down syndrome hotline, a new appeal process, and a set of new standards for acceptance into the Early Steps program. Adoption and public testimony is set to take place by the end of November. With FAMU TV 20, I'm Keytron Hill.
To find out more information on the Florida Early Steps program, visit floridahealth.gov.
We'll have a chance of some showers on Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday, we'll have some afternoon showers where the high will be 86 and the low will be 68. Sunday, we'll have an 80% chance of rain, where the high will be 71 and the low will be 61. That's all for weather today. Now back to you all at the desk.
Thank you for that, Shakoria. And Travis, it's going to be a football-packed weekend. What can we expect next in sports?
Well, you're absolutely right, Taylor. Florida State University is looking to knock off the #1 team in the country, and FAMU will be on the road. We'll have that and more next in sports. Stay tuned. You're watching News 20 at 5. Welcome back to News 20 at 5. I'm Travis Milton with your sports. It's a game that you won't want to miss this weekend as the Florida State Seminoles face off against the Clemson Tigers. The pressure is definitely on in the wake of Clemson being named the #1 team in the college football rankings. The winner of Saturday's game will move into the driver's seat in the race for the Atlantic Coast Conference Atlantic Division title. Both the Seminoles and the Tigers have represented the Atlantic Division in the ACC Championship game for the last 6 years, and Florida State has won the last 3 division titles. Clemson is currently 8-0 and will host Florida State, who is 7-1 at 3:30 p.m. in Clemson, South Carolina. And the Florida A&M Rattler football team will head to Virginia this weekend to face off against the 4-5 Hampton Pirates. With 3 games left in the regular season, the 1-7 Rattlers, currently at the bottom of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, will face off against the 6th-ranked Pirates. The Rattlers will look to add a W to their record with an upset win this weekend. Kickoff is at 1:00 p.m. at Armstrong Stadium in Hampton, Virginia. And as the college football season winds down, one of the biggest rivalries in history is back. The Atlanta Crimson Tide will take on the LSU Tigers for another Southeastern Conference matchup. In their last meeting, the Crimson Tide defeated the Tigers in a 20-13 victory as they went on to compete in the 2014 college football playoffs. This season, the undefeated Tigers look to keep their streak rolling as they face the 7-1 Crimson Tide Saturday at 8 p.m. That's all we have in sports. Back to you at the desk.
Welcome back to a special edition of News 20 at 5. I'm Taylor Bishop. If you're looking for a good time with family and friends, the North Florida Fair is back in town. Thursday kicks off the 74th annual opening of the fair in Tallahassee. Kids can enjoy rides and check out the petting zoo while stuffing their faces with elephant ears and cotton candy. The fair will run until Sunday, November 15th.
Well, I hope to enjoy that fair with all this great weather this weekend and all this football going on. But I think that's going to do it for us this afternoon, guys. For Travis and Shakoria, I'm Beret Baker.
And I'm Taylor Bishop. Thanks for watching. And remember to also visit the FAMU News 20 tab for more updates. Have a great evening.